Hey buddy, it's Victor. It's time for another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Tuesday, Mosh Pit. Hope your Tuesday is going off to a good start. We're waiting for another video to cross 3,000 likes. Over the weekend, we have a couple that are very, very, very close. Definitely go check those out, and I hope your Tuesdays have gone off to a great start today. Speaking of a great start, I guess we're just doing Pet Week this week. Here's your picture of a pet of the day sent in here by, I'm going to say I'm just going to say Zess. Title thread was another fluffy member of the Mosh Pit enjoying her nightly dose of Isaac. And yeah, I apparently, like I said, just like in real life, online life, cats just love me, even though I'm not the biggest cat fan. They are drawn to me just because they can tell that like I'm just not a cat person. As someone who has been around lots of cats, oh my gosh, this is Sacred Heart. C-Day is going to be 6 Yankee Mike Tango 3 November Papa. We've got Sacred Heart, but god-awful tears, as to be expected. We also start off with Wavy Cap, which would technically solve our lack of tears rate for a little bit, but I'm not going to do that to you, and also not going to do that to myself. I mean, an early Sanguine Bond would be nice, but I don't think that we're not going to be able to utilize it for quite a while. We do get a Soul Heart here, which I'm happy to see. So this is at least pays for our entry. But with Sacred Heart, obviously getting anything that's going to give us a plus damage is any plus damage is going to be huge. Obviously getting the tears rate fixed is going to be the best way for us to kind of, avoid early problems. And you might be thinking like, that's insane. Well, how could you even say that you have early problems? I'm not saying that I have early problems. I'm saying that the lack of fire rate right now could cause some issues, like getting pursued by burning gapers, for example. And we don't have the tears rate to either kill them or push them back long enough for us to make a dodge. Our movement speed is also not very good. So, that's also kind of taken into account, this lack of mobility and lack of damage mitigation by way of dodging or killing. Basically what I'm trying to say is we need to get faster. We need to shoot faster in order for us to really kind of pop off here. I'm going to bomb the Hanging Keeper because it does have a very good chance of giving us a penny, or a nickel, I should say, as you just saw right there, having 8 cents. Not entirely sure where our secret room is. So yeah, you're seeing here with a very, very, very limited fire rate here. Yes, we're dealing lots of damage, but this is the quintessential example of how damage is not everything. You need to factor in DPS. You need to have good quality tears upgrades in order for you to really kind of push the levels of damage. Now, if I have to absolutely use Wavy Cap, I will. So what does Wavy Cap do? Well, I'll show you just once, just for an example here. This is what Wavy Cap does, and you can stack this up to, I think, like 7 or 8 times, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. But I know that there are some people who do have motion sickness issues, and also it's not fun to look at after the first time you see it. You're like, oh wow, that's so wacky. After a while, it just gets kind of annoying. We do get a tears upgrade here with Squeezy, and we'll definitely take that. And get me off of this floor. So, by the way, if for whatever reason you need to cancel the wavy cap effect, you can actually exit the run that you're currently on and then just go back into it, and it will cancel the visual effect, but it only cancels it for this room. Once you go to the next room, it will start up again if you had high enough stacks. So obviously it's gone away here, but because I only used it once. But if we had used it multiple times, it would start kind of waving back and forth again, up to the intensity that you exited the run. But if it's just getting too much for you, you can cancel it out by just simply exiting the run and then continuing it. Just a little trick there in case of, like I said, if you do happen to get it, especially for TM trainer runs, which for some odd reason really love picking Wavy Cap, and it's just too much for you, or it's just impeding your gameplay too much, then that's an easy way to kind of get rid of it. We're absolutely going to take up his head here, which is going to scale very nicely with our fly damage and Sacred Heart damage. And as we get rolling here on the second floor, we go check out last week's question of the episode, which was the other Esau episode, where of course we had an Esau Junior run, which was a fantastic way to showcase how an item that, if you start with something good, good things can happen. And Esau Junior is one of those items that isn't necessarily thought about a whole lot in terms of like the upper echelon of items, but I think it's actually quite nice to start with. The most upvoted comment, well, the question of the episode was, what is your take on Esau Jr.? And the most upvoted comment came in from Thigus Metal, who said, it gives you more options, which is always good. If the items on Esau Jr. are bad, just clear a room and return to your regular character, no harm done. And yeah, that is almost 100% true. I would say that there is a little bit of chance of harm done there just because of the fact that, yes, if you do swap over to Esau Jr., you're basically committing to those items that he draws, and you're risking losing those items appearing for whatever other character you flip back to. But at the same time, to Thigus Metal's point, yes, you do have the ability to just be like, oh, this build sucks. We can just go back to Eden or Isaac or whoever you're playing. The second most upvoted comment came from the Hungry Mammoth. Or sorry, the Hangry. No, it is Hungry. I think Hangry Mammoth would be even funnier. The Hungry Mammoth, who said it's a hit or miss item, but starting out with it plus the added benefit of flying is always a huge plus. And yeah, that's another thing that's so nice about Esau Jr. is that starting out with flying is a very, very big boon to your survivability. You get some more movement speed here from that. Yeah, I mean, we take both of these here. Maw the Void plus Sacred Heart plus freaking Athame. Yes, sir. Yeah, the added benefit of flying for Esau Jr. is just so good. And last but not least, the third most upvoted came in from Mayday, who is also a member of the YouTube Mosh Pit. Thank you very much, Mayday. Who said it's a heck of a lot better than regular Esau and Jacob and Hee-Haw. And yeah, I think that is a given there. So what's nice about Maw the Void in this spot here is that it bypasses the need for us to have a high tears rate. We are only bound by the charging time of Maw of the Void to gain the benefits of Sacred Heart, and that's very, 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 very strong. But as you see here, we cannot not take damage right now because everything's exploding as soon as we kill it. So we need to get our HP. We need to prevent our HP loss from being too high here. And death rattles are certainly a problem with the Athame if you're not careful anyway. But if we can really stack that damage up, we're going to be taken care of. Now, one thing I will say is that despite us having Sacred Heart, we're only sitting at 7.09 damage, which tells me that our base damage on this run for Eden was very bad. If you get Sacred Heart and you're not over like 9 or 10 just by itself, you're on an Eden run anyway, you're looking at a very real possibility of your base damage being just absolute doo-doo. And we are, speaking of absolute doo-doo, these shops have been quite doo-doo-rific, doo-doo-tacular. Obviously, still want to get some more movement speed. We still want to get more HP, still get more tiers. We have a lot of things on the to-do list for this run, but making sure that we don't lose too much HP before getting those upgrades that we need is vital. And that's really holds true to any single run that you do on Isaac. Super Magnet. Basically just a big old waste of a bomb there. The Super Secret Room could be south of here. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. If it's here, it's in a very weird spot on the map. Yeah. And leave it to us to do a full clear for us just to find our item room. And boy, howdy, what an item room it is. I mean, I guess we can take... Well, we can take Crooked Penny and maybe get a second Guppy item here. Oh my gosh, it worked. Now, hang on now. Hang on a second. Now, if we get a full charge with Crooked Penny and we do it again... that potentially could give us Guppy in that room for free. Was there a full charge in the shop, though? Crooked Penny, you could have some redemption on your hands here. This would be an epic play if it works. There's not a full charge. Yeah, I'm not risking not having Guppy's head. The fly damage that we're getting here from Guppy's head is just too strong. And we do get a tears rate upgrade, which is nice again. But yeah, we have absolutely no way to get this full charge going here on Crooked Penny, unfortunately. I would have done it. I mean, yeah, we could go in the curse room, but then we die. So, and I'm not losing this Eternal Heart. We need all the HP right now. So, but you know, I will admit, great play there by Crooked Penny. Thank you for hitting a 50-50 for once. There's no possibility there we can do anything with Super Magnet. So we're 2 or 3 for Guppy, unless we find a Charge Beggar or something inside the Super Secret Room, which I'm not entirely sure where that is, and I don't really want to plow through all of our bombs. This is about the last place it could be, realistically. You would make me walk all the way back over there, wouldn't you, game? You want me to walk in these spikes, don't you? It's not going to happen. I'm seeing the Matrix today. I am not going to be fooled by that. So we are risking having Guppy's head here, losing Guppy's head here, but the benefit is just, it's too high for us not to go for. And this would be a really epic play. So if you don't know what's happening, by the way, in Repentance, if you pick up duplicate Guppy items or duplicate transformation items, it still counts as a way, it still counts as you actually picking up another one of said item set. So if we were to double this again and somehow by some miracle get this play off, it will turn us to Guppy despite it just being nothing but Guppy's heads, because we've technically touched 3 different Guppy items, even though they're the same item. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh. Wow, that is one remarkable play right there. Now you gotta admit, that's pretty good, y'all. That's pretty good. Crooked Penny trying to get itself off of the bench. Getting us Guppy when we needed it most. Some kind of extra damage booster here with Sacred Heart. That is huge. Now the only thing we have to be careful about is the fly damage blowing up a fly right next to us on 1 HP. Curse the Unknown. We know we have 2 HP there, but that is a remarkably lucky play. Every now and then, we get lucky. Not all the time. Not 90% of the time, but I would say 10% of the time we get pretty dang lucky. You gotta give some props to that play now. Come on now. Come on now. That's definitely that's worth watching a minute at 0.75. No, I talked about it on the other video as well. We cannot take Tiny Planet here. You know, people have been telling me, like, you know, why don't you just record the videos at 1.25? And it's like, yeah, I can't. There's no way for me to talk faster, and I'm not going to edit every single video every single day. That's going to increase not only the production time, which is right now is 0 because I just record these all live, but also there's no real, so far anyway, it's still too early in the 75% experiment to see if you know, if there's any tangible benefits. And people were saying that, like, apparently the person that told me this is trolling me. They're not trolling. Trust me. I won't identify them, but they know what they're talking about. Super Secret Room might be north of here. It usually is. It's like an 80% wall. Didn't actually mean to use that, but here we go. Okay, so we get a Yara rune, the Gaz rune. Definitely, we have to use the Gaz rune now, just because I need to see how much HP we're gonna have going into this devil deal. Get an Ansas as we use it. There's our Super Secret Rune. So obviously the Lover's card here for this Demon Judgment is it's gonna happen. If this doesn't happen, then I'm never playing another Demon Judgment ever again. Yeah, it's damage. We need something damage oriented. Look at that, 3.89 damage just for a single damage upgrade there from Dark Matter. And we can actually use the Empress card now. It's going to go up against Fallen. Yeah, just that little bit of extra damage really does it for us. And I think taking Gimpy here is actually okay. We're not going to take Let Me Get Down, but take Gimpy, and we can take the Ansas rune. I don't really have any interest in in holding on to the blank card, so I don't care about the Empress card. I doubt that we're going to be able to make boss rush. It might be close, though. I mean, our damage is starting to really ramp up. No left hand, surprisingly, and I would have absolutely taken the left hand for HP. No. I refuse. I thoroughly refuse. Now, obviously, if we had more Red Heart HP, we could go play that sack room, but we just don't have that. So, and honestly, we've been really lucky in this run. I'm very happy just to have a Guppy transformation here. And curse the XL. Well, it's a good thing that we made the play for Guppy, because we wouldn't be in trouble necessarily on this run, just because obviously we have Sacred Heart, we have Maw of the Void. We just wouldn't be in a overly dominant spot. I am happy that we've been getting the Tears upgrades that we've been needing here, but we need more damage, really, and need more HP too. Which is a wild thing to say when you start with Sacred Heart, but it is true. I mean, fire rate is, yeah, I love mucormycosis, but more Tears rates is absolutely needed here. DPS is all about how fast you can get that damage from point A to point B. A free Steam sale here, and this is also going to solidify that we do not have a greed fight in our shop. Although that is a really horrific placement for the curse room. I would have never ever seen that, or not curse room, but that secret room. That is vile. Their game, putting it at the end of a skinny curse room. No one would look at that. I think that the secret room's there, especially on an XL floor. So it's a good thing that we end up having this. We end up having this Ansuz rune. Even though we're trying to make boss rush here, we're still looking for the Tinted Skull. And since we're here, we might as well go into the shop and go check out the super secret room. Now, obviously, taking Twisted Pair would be great, but if we took it in that spot, we would have died. The Small Rock is kind of whatever. I will take the Glowing Hourglass to undo some bad damage if we need to. And certainly with this movement speed down again that we just got from Small Rock, we're most likely going to take some. Gotta keep on the lookout for the Tinted Skull. We still have plenty of time. Knowing the game, though, we're probably not going to see the Tinted Skull until, like, we're, you know, done a full clear. Although it doesn't matter now, because with the Hermit card, we can just teleport out. Then we've got the Emperor card, which will make things easier for the late game. There's the Tinted Skull right next to the boss door. Okay, so I apologize, game. We would have been totally fine. I guess we'll take Best Bud. Nine keys, only one more bomb, but we might as well just check this out. Get it back, so it's no big deal. Okay, so this shouldn't be too bad here. There's not really a boss that I can think of that would give us problems, but we need HP in order for us to even consider taking Twisted Pair. And even then, I don't know if we take Twisted Pair or not. We do get another Tears rate, so we're almost maxed out Tears now, so our DPS problems are almost gone. I am going to take the negative here, and I will take Twisted Pair, even though it puts us down to 2 HP. Remember, we also have the Glowing Hourglass, which is going to greatly increase the chances of us living through anything bad. I like Tech 0, but not in this spot. I'd rather max out my Tears rate and just get us there. We can go back and get the Emperor card, and then we'll move on. So we still have the added benefit. We have almost like a soft Holy Mantle in a way with the Glowing Hourglass. If we just take bad damage, just undo it and gives us another opportunity really thrive in the whatever room that we take damage in. Of course, we'll never take damage. Twisted Pair is going to help us out greatly with our damage here, especially with our maxed out tears rate, and the negative also added a lot of damage to our raw damage. Okay, so as long as we're careful with our movements and with our shots, and we don't let the flies detonate anything bad. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of keys in here for the red poops real quick. We should be able to overcome the bad movement speed here. There we go. Right. There's the entire west side there. Wouldn't mind getting more movement speed, especially for rooms like this. The eye lasers is all about taking the correct angle to avoid the initial shot. The secret room might be here. And it is, so we don't have to go through the mom hand room again. And because it was super greed, we get to get out of here for free. Wouldn't mind seeing a judgment. Not a demon judgment, just a regular judgment, just so we get some more HP. Let Purgatory and the Thame do most of the work here. Soul Heart. We definitely need to go back for that. Big time plays are abound. None being bigger than the Crooked Penny play, though. Now that's not enough to get Crooked Penny off the bench. Don't get it twisted. We're still not on good terms here. They're on the did not play list right now. Is an in-team suspension. But this is a good start to getting it back. We cannot take any of those. We'll take Perfection just because we might as well. It might help out with Soul Heart generation. If we can keep accumulating HP here, we will be okay. Obviously, because now the fact that we've stabilized to the point of our damage can now start being used to. Our damage can be now used into factoring our safety, our mitigation, our defense, because it is so high, and because we have a way of killing stuff before they have a chance to even harm us. In a way, our best defense now becomes our offense, and that's exactly the whole point of this. That is where you need to be in Isaac. Using your offense to defend yourself. And now that we've gotten a good amount of HP, we are at the point now where we can start really utilizing our damage just to keep us safe, without us having to get, like, being so reliant on mobility and so reliant on movement speed. This is a room that we have to be a little bit cautious in, but if we did take damage, we just undo it with the glowing hourglass. Good spicy damage there. Old Hushy, if we had the Polaroid, I would definitely consider it, but not on this lap. People were asking me if I've heard anything back about the concept of getting something extra from the optional bosses after beating them for the achievement. I haven't heard anything official, obviously, and even if I did, it's all there's no promises or anything being made. But they do know about my proposal for getting just getting a little bit of motivation to do the optional bosses when you just no longer need them. you got to remember that like I'm part of a set of the Isaac like players percentages, demographics, whatever you want to call it, that is unusual just because I play the game so much. So a lot of the stuff that I would recommend or that I would like to see in the game comes from someone who plays this game for a living, not the casual Isaac player who doesn't do that and doesn't need to but be concerned with getting something extra from optional bosses. And that is one of the things that is taken into account whenever I'm propose something that I think would be a good idea for the game or something that could improve it. And the devs are aware of that. Like they know that they know the source, which I respect too. You know, it's ultimately of course I have absolutely zero authority when it comes to balancing this game. I just like taking a good idea, or at least what I think is a good idea, and running with it. But to my knowledge, no such change that I've proposed is going to happen. And 99.99999%, I wouldn't hold your breath. I personally don't believe that anything's going to happen. A quick look at the payouts here. We could take sulfur, but there's really no reason. There's nothing that's going to be better than the glowing hourglass. We get to cash in our Emperor card and absolutely smoke Lamb. Yeah, let's run through a victory lap real quick. Take a nice little jaunt into the victory lap. X-Ray, Delta Bravo Alpha, Golf Victor, November Hotel. The victory lap seed. I don't like either of those. Skipping Stone can be fun and kind of funny sometimes, but not what we need. We don't need any of it, actually. Judgment's going to spawn 2 judgments here, which, if they're regular judgments, great. If they're not regular judgments, then we don't care. And they are literally both demon judgments. All right. All right. Another tiers upgrade here. Not that we need it because we're already capped. Yeah, don't hold your breath if you're expecting like, oh, Billy, I can't wait to see the changes that Sinvicta talking about in the game. Yeah, your chances are better off seeing a mod being developed for something like that. And what I will actually say is that, like, if a mod maker is out there, if you want to do something like the optional boss rewards or something like that, I would definitely play it on a video or two, or maybe even add it for like a week. That would be interesting to see, like, what real benefit doing optional bosses would have if they hypothetically gave you some kind of tangible benefit of doing so after unlocking them and not needing them for anything else. Showing it in motion has a much better chance of making something real happen in the canonical game, rather than me just talking about it without seeing it in action. That's something that the devs I would assume, would be way more apt into looking at, rather than just some Yahoo talking on a microphone for 30 minutes or so. Take Lard Zit here, which is going to give us a slowing shot. We like Little Gertie, but she's taking a break, and I understand. You see here, we probably wouldn't even get any use out of Little Gertie, because now it's just we're starting to get into balling out of control territory real fast here. I'm gonna go look for the shop because we do have Steam sale, which is gonna be 50% off. I looked away for half of a second. There's a double tinted rock right there. Not that it gave us anything anyway. Although I did find out through that explosion. We're going to take a look at the secret room here. We're still looking for the shop. Here's the hope we can get some movement speed. Seeing something like that in action is way better as a demo than hearing someone talk about it. And then, like, I kind of operate the same way. Like, don't tell me, show me. That was one of our golden rules back when I used to be a tech. You know, it's not that you won't take someone's word on like a problem. Where it originates from is the idea that a customer is like, oh, my computer's doing this and this and this. Okay, well, don't tell me, show me. I'd like to see where these claims are coming from, because it's not that I don't trust your word. It's just that I need to verify it for myself. That way I know that there's an actual problem that exists within the computer itself, and, you know, not existing between the computer and the keyboard. Or rather, between the chair and the desk, where the problem might lie, aka the customer. And just like going to a doctor, it's always funny remembering those times. You know, someone would tell me that the computer's doing this and this and this, and making it like seem like their computer's possessed. Like, okay, well, let's see it in action. Let's check this out. And then of course they don't. They fail to replicate it, which is not necessarily to say that, like, you know, they're not telling the truth or anything like that. It's just like, I can't fix a problem that I can't see. I can't just go off of someone's you know, word off of it. The same holds true with stuff like, you know, proposing an idea for a balance change or something, especially in a game that's as modular as Isaac. Something like that, to, like, you know, let's see what the tangible benefits would be of us having some kind of really good reward. Nothing game breaking, nothing overpowered, but just a good example of what the game would look like had we have some sort of benefit to doing the optional bosses. And then, you know, I can point the devs to be like, hey, look at this. Like, you know, we had some pretty fun runs. We had some pretty amazing synergies that came out of it. Or, like, you know, it can be done and adjusted if it's a little bit too broken or whatever, and balanced out while still existing in the game to give it a little bit more motivation for change. And I think that is the most effective way to get a point across when it comes to proposing changes for a game as old as Isaac now. That they still are actively looking at balancing and stuff too. So there, we get our token 1 item shop in before fully upgraded shops BTW. I love me some card reading. It cuts down on a lot of the Invicta navigation. And little Chad, which does nothing for us right now. I don't know if it's the product of me growing my hair out so long. I still haven't gotten a haircut, by the way, in what seems to be an eternity at this point. My hair is really long. It has not been this long since I can't remember when. I don't know if it's the result of that, but I find like my hair, like I find more hair like when I'm after I'm done, like out of the shower, or like I have to comb it when I get out of the shower. And it's like there's just hair everywhere, and I don't know if that's because it's just longer, or like it just tends to fall out easier because it is longer. I don't know what the product is of that. I mean, there are times whenever I'm combing my hair, and just to get all the tangles and stuff out of it after the shower, where it looks like I'm losing all of my hair, and I'm like, what the heck? Am I going bald or what? Like I'm actually turning into Ryan at this point. I don't know. I need advice on that. The longer your hair length, does that have any bearing on you just happening to find more hair, or do you actually just shed at a usual rate and you just it's just a little bit more overt just because it is longer and easier to find? Love to know, because as someone who has not had long hair ever, like ever, it is kind of freaky. Like, am I actually going bald? I'm not old enough to be going bald, at least not in my family anyway. All the men in our family have had full heads of hair well into the like 70s and 80s. So I think it's part of the Chinese gene. I think that even Papa Victor is not losing his hair at his age, and he's getting up there. So this Black Candle, man, what I wouldn't do for a movement speed upgrade right now. Now that we've gotten all the tiers rate taken care of, Getting a movement speed upgrade is like, it's almost vital at this point. Unless if we keep getting red portals, then we'll just take the red portal and just go. I'm hoping that we get a movement speed up though. Not a movement speed up. That's just a lot of HP. Oh, I was kind of hoping that we're gonna get a red portal, just blast through it here. I will take Miter. There's nothing wrong with little Brimmy. It's just that we don't need him. Our Fool card here, which is going to allow us to skip out of boss rush again. But I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, am I actually losing my hair, or is it just easier to find the hair because it's longer and I just am noticing it? I will say that having tangles in my hair is also like really a weird sensation because I always keep the lettuce short, and that's just how it is. So like dealing with like hair problems and stuff is totally 100% alien to me. You know, like split ends and all that kind of good stuff. I mean, I've never had to care about that sort of thing. And I don't have split ends. It just gets tangled really badly whenever I get out of the shower, which is the reason why I try to comb it so it you know, lessens it. I've had to start using conditioner now, something that like I also never ever do. I don't even have anything to say about what's going on right now. There you go. Take the Polaroid. And compound fracture is not what we want. I just want more damage. Yeah, you know what? Let's go fight old Beastie. Old Beastie. We haven't fought Beast in what feels like an eternity, so we can definitely go destroy her, especially with the glowing hourglass, just in case. So we have the glowing hourglass right now, but you know what I mean. Old Beastie. Using conditioner is not something that I have ever really done. I've used conditioner before, like when my hair was like medium length back in the day, but it's not really been something that like I've even cared about up until growing out my hair. What was going on with that mob over there? Obviously, we don't need to worry about going into our item room right now because if one item is going to be blind, we can get it back. Actually, no, I take that back. We are on the Ascent. I forgot that we ported. Rotten Tomatoes, fine. Spectral Tears would be okay too, but Rotten Tomatoes, it would turn if we can paint one of the sins against its mod, like like Ultra Pestilence or something like that. That would be beneficial to us. So, wow. Literally walked right into that shot. I actually don't want Inner Eye here. We don't want nor need to multiply our shots. It would also destroy our tears rate, which we worked so hard to get. There's a Tinted Rock in there. Not that we need anything, of course, because we're at full HP. It would be nice if card reading gave you a portal in the boss room for this to allow you to go back to the start, like just kind of like be like an opposite portal, be like a black portal or a white portal or something. That would be very cool. We don't have to worry about Polaroid invincibility because we gave it up to get into the beast door. So taking the Eternal Heart here is no big deal. It gives us an extra heart container for us to actually get some HP back in case we need it. We probably won't. I am shocked that we didn't get another movement speed upgrade. Shocked and a little bit appalled. What a run. It was a fantastic run. Obviously, at the start was a little bit contentious just because we had a we had a really rough go at it for the tiers rate. But I gotta say that we wouldn't be anywhere close to our power level if we didn't get that Guppy play with the Crooked Penny. That was definitely one of the plays of the that was definitely one of the plays of the early year here. And Crooked Penny, Crooked Penny earned some points back. Not enough to get off of the bench, but it's a good attempt. The coaches and I will definitely remember it. Well, we've added it to the team notes there, but it's not enough to get you off the bench. Nice to say. Don't care about the High Priestess card.
Please don't leave us.
I'm sorry, Isaac.
Every time I hear Matthias talk, it blows my mind. Every single time I hear him talk, to think that like I've had meaningful one-on-one conversations with him on the phone many times, and the fact that like we've written music together, which is just insane to me. Like it's truly a dream come true to be able to do stuff like that, and all as the result of me just doing Isaac videos. Like it's insane to me. Say what you want about Sinvicta Luck and everything and what the game put you through. At the end of the day, like it's undeniable that Isaac this game has done way more good for me than anything else that I've ever attempted for YouTube and in my life in general. You don't get to have a free hit there, Dogma. There we go. Try that again. Nice freeze there by mom's eye. Where are you shooting at, buddy? I think Dogma was technically feared there and just flipped out or something. I don't know what happened there. Lots of backstabber stabs here in procs. It's weird seeing the intruder fire with those white shots and then having like kind of fall down to earth. There's a lot of Athame procs over there. He goes Ultra Pestilence. Didn't even have to worry about painting him with Rotten Tomato. Definitely want to slow down War. And of course, we're in no danger of dying here. We're just seeing if we can get a cheeky little no-hit against Beast. Okay, now goes the Holy Mantle because Stopwatch wore off right at the wrong time. Hoping that the size would create Athames. There we go. So yeah, what a run, I gotta say. So thank you for watching, everybody. Again, I appreciate all the support on the Isaac series and those of you who've been sticking out with the 75% experiment. If you want to continue to do so, definitely by all means do it. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it, especially if it impedes the way that you enjoy these videos. Some people have been getting some entertainment out of the fact that I sound really drunk on 0.75, which I mean anyone's going to sound weird when their speech is slowed by 75%. But thank you very much for all the support on the Isaac series. Of course, there's the Balatro series as well. I talked about Balatro a couple days ago, where the game's getting a little bit difficult to create good YouTube content for, but I still enjoy the game, and I like presenting games here on the channel that I enjoy a lot. And if it's successful, then that just makes it even better. So Look at that. We no-hit Beast technically since Holy Mantle saved us from one hit there after war, and I'll take it. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button. Let's get these videos over 3,000 likes and above to get the like streak count back up on schedule. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your question of the episode today is going to be, what are your thoughts on Sacred Heart? Is it always takeable? Is it sometimes not takeable depending on your tiers rate? Or is it just one of those items that if you see it, you take it? Post them in the comments down below. I love to hear your opinion on that. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I like thanks to patrons of mine like Picasso, Zombie Fingers, and Goteg. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find over at patreon.com/Sinvicta.